made it to the heart of France. Must be a past life home. A little cottage made out of stone in the little town of Clemency. 100 people. Here for Mars going through Cancer, the sign of water and rain. And that Mars coming into a trine with Saturn in Pisces coming up shortly. It's just home, home, home. Moon is in Cancer today, conjunct with Mars early on, trining Saturn. Very, very homey kind of energy with deep stirrings of emotions, things from the past coming up for us all. With Mercury in opposition to Neptune today, trining Pluto tomorrow. Exact. Of course, this is all going on all at the same time. Conjuncting with Black Moon Lilith, as he moves then into Libra tomorrow. And continues on. I will say that I am going to talk a little bit about the eclipse that is happening for us. It is next Wednesday, but the energy is building now. I think many of us are feeling it now, so I'm going to address it now. And that is, and you can see it from the chart at the beginning, a sun, moon, Black Moon Lilith, Mercury, South Node conjunction in the sign of Libra. Kaboom! Wow. Yeah. So, that is, that is very, very powerful. And it's coming up. But like I say, a lot of us can feel it emerging. Right now, again, this moon is in the closing phase. She goes through Cancer into Leo tomorrow. Then into Virgo by Sunday. It makes a yod, okay, as she hits right at the late last degrees of Virgo. It'll be a yod with Pluto and Neptune in the last degrees of Capricorn and Pisces, right? So that's going to really be something on Sunday. And then she moves into opposed Saturn on Monday, squaring Jupiter, and finally by Tuesday goes into Libra for our final grand finale of that massive stellium happening in Libra that I want to talk to you about right now. All right, everybody. I'm going to take this chance in between the drops of rain. It's a drizzly day here. I think back on my last Paleo reports over the years, many years, and how I've been such a smiling, happy-go-lucky, easygoing kind of astrologer, and how more recently and lately it has been challenging, it has been, heavy, it has been dark, and what can I say? C'est la vie. Such is life. If we're picking up on the collective unconscious, which is Neptune, okay, and Mercury is opposite Neptune today, like now, as I'm speaking. The sun was just opposite Neptune, okay, prior to the equinox, and this is a powerful time. You can look at that chart that I came with, before, at the beginning of the Paleo report, right? Sun, Moon, South Node, conjunct Black Moon Lilith, okay? This is very, very powerful, and very, very deep, and very, very dark. If we consider Rahu and Ketu, the moon's nodes, okay, and look at this eclipse season. The eclipses always happen on the moon's nodes. The moon's nodes are so powerful. It is where the path of the moon meets the path of the sun. So it connects together It's a nodal position, a point. There's no physical matter there, but it's this vortex, this vertex of energy. Sun, moon, earth. Yeah? And the north is rising and the south is setting. The dragon's head, which is where we had the lunar eclipse, okay, last week. And now we're building towards, okay, the moon is waning, 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 coming around. And it's going to be a new moon solar eclipse on the south node. Now, a planet is always more powerful, most powerful on its north node, where it crosses the ecliptic going north. So that meant that the way we interpret this astrologically is that last week, that lunar eclipse, the moon was on her own north node. The moon is our inner child, our subconscious inner world. Okay? It's not the solar power, conscious energy, and creativity of the sun. This is the yin, inner, subconscious, emotional, insecure, changing, shifting, flowing, changing like the weather. And it's very interesting, even though the moon's nodes are in Libra Aries, that North Node lunar eclipse was in Pisces, right? Conjunct Neptune, and I talked all about surrender and allow and accept and return to source and open that crown chakra and now 2 weeks later we're gonna come around and I'm gonna talk a completely different picture, right? And this is the polarity, and I'm going to talk about polarities. Wait till you hear this, this week's Sabian symbol. But now we're looking at K2, the dragon's tail, where it excretes. Yes, it is the past. It is the dark. It is the karmic energy within the chart. Okay? And then we combine that with Black Moon Lilith, the dark feminine, who has been going back and forth through Libra and Virgo for quite some time now, and she's lurking around in the bushes, hiding in the background, like a serpent ready to strike. Woo! So we have this dark energy, and that's where this week's mantra is about, this dark energy. And I just let me start out with the Sabian symbol. I did the Sabian symbol for the 7th degree of Libra, where the sun comes into conjunction with K2, the south node of the moon, and Mercury, our egoic thoughts and thinking. So the light is shining the light of consciousness down into the deep, dark cave, or the hole of the snake, okay, or the underworld. So it's like shining this flashlight. So this is a time to be like miners, mining, going down into find those diamonds, find that gold, find those emeralds, find the gems, but down in the belly of the beast, down. I mean, the dragon hoards, right? The chests of treasure in the dragon's lair. And this is where we need to go. A woman feeding chickens. That's why I started out with the chickens. A woman feeding chickens and protecting them from the hawks. The need to face the antagonism of powers of darkness as one attempts to feed the mind of as yet helpless and frightened apprentices. The most basic law of our universe. I mean, we're getting down to the primal energy, right? The most basic law. Do you know the most basic law? Well, we're going to tell you today, okay, the most basic law of our universe is that every release of new potentialities or modes of energy, every time there's a release of a potent, of a potential, it brings about a polarization of effects. That is, the new potentiality will be used both for construction and destruction. It will arouse individuals or groups and nations to take a series of steps which will lead some to greater success, others to deeper failure. Whoever makes possible this new release has to accept the karma of both the success and the failure. When Jesus showered his immense love upon lukewarm, self-centered individuals, it inevitably came to be turned into violent hatred when these soul minds were unable to cope with its frightening intensity. Jesus had to accept spiritual responsibility for those who crucified him. Now let's just talk about this a little bit. And let's just talk about the tail, the root, the anus, the kundalini, chi energy, the coiled serpent at the base of our spine. This is the Plutonian, Kali, Shiva, chi, red energy that is this power like a volcano. It is our sexual force. It is our desire nature. It is this very powerful, and they call it dark. Okay, dark. And it's feminine because it's inner. Yes, and the feminine in astrology is earth and water. It is this downward, inward consolidation of energy. And it's something about, because, Lilith has to do with the taboo. Pluto, Scorpio, Venus is in Scorpio right now, right? Having to do with the taboo. And I think of this taboo because, it's really taboo, okay, for an old white guy to be talking about the feminine, dark energy. If I'm not setting myself up for trouble here, nobody is. But I'm going to go for it anyway. Okay, I mean, because, these are, it's not about men and women. We all have a black moon Lilith. Men have a Venus and a black moon Lilith. Okay, just like men have, a Mars, all right, and Aries, the warrior. We are both. In our past lives, we have been both. So let's not get into pointing fingers or name calling. But I will say that Libra is the sign where we project ourselves out into and experience ourselves through the other. So this is about relationships. This is about projection. And when we feel this energy welling up within us and it scares us, okay, it's more powerful than perhaps our little learning egos can control, okay, our desires and our obsessions and our compulsions. And it's like, we can scare ourselves sometimes with how badly or how deeply we really need somebody, or really want something, or really can't live without something. I mean, this is taboo. I mean, it's just like, for shame, for shame, for shame. Put that away. Suppress it. Repress it. This has been done for thousands of years. This is what so many religions are all about. Don't feel that. And don't act on that for sure. Or you're going to go to hell, right? The underworld. You will go down to the underworld. So this is this energy, Kali energy, Shiva energy is the destructive energy. So whenever there is a release, it is both powerful, right? Constructive and destructive. Leads us up and pulls us down. This is just the third dimension reality of time, space, physical matter that we find ourselves in today. And so we want to really take this time to own our projections rather than blaming, the president, the government, the billionaires, the pharmaceuticals, the parents, the partner, the spouse, the ex, the kid. You know what? Blame, 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 blame. Put it outside ourselves, outside. That's them, 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 them. I'm a good spiritual light worker. I mean, this is a time for us to own our projections and to own our desires, to own our dark side. That I too, as a light worker, have impulses and compulsions and desires, that want to own, control, manipulate, exploit, hoard. We all have this dragon in us that wants more, 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 more. And that dragon spits out fire and can kill us. So if we go too far, in one way we don't own our own desire nature, then we can project it and experience it, as others exploiting us, manipulating us, using us, controlling us, and us, being poor, innocent victims simply because we have not owned our power. Yeah. Now, and then when we do, we come into, and it's like, all right, and then this is anger, right? I mean, anger brings us into, all right, I am pissed off. I am angry. I am feeling this deep primal energy within, right? And I could punch you in the face, but I'm a spiritual light worker, so I'm not going to do that, right? Or I could just, break a plate, slam a door, put my fist through the wall. I mean, this is our human. This is the human snake Kundalini energy rising up like lava from the center of the earth, blowing out through the volcanoes. This is war. Yeah? Shooting long-range missiles. Running tanks through towns. I mean, think of what is going on here on Earth. It's like the primal root energy has gone nuts. So during this eclipse season, and it's a month, and it's going to go on through this new moon that's the next Wednesday and beyond. Right now, we are what? This is where we are ending, finishing, closing, completing, right? And so, like I say, it's like we surrendered to spirit, but now we have to come back down in and deal with our humanity. And we have to deal with it and try to be as conscious as we can, and understand that it is creative force. This is the power of sex, right? And that power of sex leads to procreation. Yeah? It can be recreation, but it's also procreation. This is the powerful root force that brings new life onto planet Earth. So this is creative energy. So the mantra for today is to use this. Okay, I am angry, or I am, passionate. Okay, I am feeling, like I'm ready to explode. Well, take that explosive, powerful Mars in Cancer, North Node in Aries, and heal our wounded warrior. Take that, this is healing energy, Chiron in Aries. This is psychic surgery, right? Spiritual surgery. This is like, I'm going to use this powerful, passionate desire that I have. And rather than let it overwhelm me, like oh my God, the walls are caving in, and I'm afraid to assert myself. I don't want to be called an asshole. I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to be too macho, or I don't want to blah 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 blah. So I'm going to worm and sneak my way around. The dark feminine has to do with jealousy, with revenge, with manipulation, where I'm not going to be direct, okay? That masculine Mars warrior is just like, yeah, I want it, I'm going to take it, right? The feminine comes in and says, oh no, right? Rather than shoot him, I'm going to poison him. Rather than, I'm going to lurk in the shadows, and I'm going to find the weakness, and I'm going to prey upon that so it's very cunning. It's very covert. And we all have this within us. Now, the sun, Mercury, comes around and shines a light. So this can be exposing secrets, exposing plans. Okay, you may be having conversations with your partner or with your enemies that is exposing covert activities, underhanded manipulations, ways that have not been above board, in the open, on the table. So this is it can be a very hard time if we want to continue in innocent ignoring our power, or it can be a time where we stand up and we own, this is what I want, and I'm going to speak it. I'm not going to manipulate and, work my way. No. I'm bringing it up, bringing it forward, spitting it out, spelling it out. It's like rolling the dice, I'm going to just roll the dice and take my chances. But I'm going for it. I want to encourage you that, this. So it is where, like I said, we can come to creative solutions when we are honest and we are open, and we show our cards. So we're all poker players, okay, and we all want to hold our cards. That's our power, being mystery, not being seen or known. That gives me a one-up kind of position. But no, it's like, show your cards. Put it on the table. In your relationships. In your partnerships. So the mantra for this week, is really, I feel a surge of primal energy. Let's remember, this is happening next Wednesday. So I was just thinking that, am I feeling a surge of primal energy today? I tell you, it's coming. And you may see it in the newspapers. But I feel a surge of primal energy welling up from deep within. If I don't use it consciously, it could well be my end. Yeah. Let's understand. A solar eclipse south node. This is a time to flush the toilet. This is a time to cut the cords of the past. We bring these things up to let them go. Yes, I have been jealous. I have wanted revenge. I have been afraid. I'm going to own it. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to, understand it so that I can release it and not let it drive my bus unconsciously. The sun is consciousness. Mercury is consciousness. So, it's really awesome, right? This can be the Camp David peace accords, where it's like, what? Yeah, I realize now that I would like to kill you, because of my ancestors and my family and my past and everything that has had, and I'm going to let that past go in order to create a new future, a new path, a new way of partnership, not based on control, domination, who's got the upper hand, but based on equality. We want to come up from the shadow of Libra, codependency, where one is above and one is needy and one is in charge and control, and we want to get out of that shadow and we want to come into this Libra essence of equilibrium and balance, shared power. So, yeah, it's like this energy can be used to, I feel this primal energy welling up within me, okay, and I can use it to, shoot a cannonball, and just, I want my way, boom, right? Or I can feel it come up within me. And I can creatively, with my Mercury, intellect and, and diplomacy and tact and communication, I can take that same energy and just say, okay, let's create something new. Do it a different way. Woo! Yeah? And then I also felt like, especially like this is like an earthquake. I felt like like the world is. We could have earthquakes during this time or something. And like the walls are shaking, and we may feel like, okay, the walls are shaking. This primal energy is rising, and it's like, we can feel like the walls are coming down. The roof is falling in on me. It's like, we can be scared. This is a very scary time, man. And so what we have to do is we have got to come up and we have to be like, Samson. Remember Samson? He was the pillars of the temple. He held the pillars, of the temple up. So this is a time to be Samson, right? And be the pillar. Hold those walls up. Because if we don't, those walls can come crashing down, and we can get buried, and we can lose, and then we can go into martyrdom and victimization and be buried and be helpless and hopeless and cry and despair and suicide or whatever. Yeah, this is like, what? It's like, boom, wake up or be taken down. So they can lead to our end. It's like, oh no, I'm not, I'm not gonna, I'm not, I'm afraid of my own power. I'm afraid of I might hurt somebody or make a mistake or fail or do the wrong thing or we can all come up with all kinds of stuff to like, just don't let that tiger out of the tank. I'm encouraging each and every one of us to let that tiger out of the tank and to hold those walls up and to consciously, the sun is our solar purpose. And our solar purpose now is to bring peace, equanimity, justice, fairness, and beauty into the world. So take that primal energy, take that kundalini, and even though you may want to, use it for your own ends or your own means or your own comfort or your own, just like instead, think of, okay, boy, I could take this, this ball of energy, this ball of light, qigong or whatever, this, and I could use this for the good of the many outweighs the good of the few. One last time. Yeah, baby. Ow! I feel a surge of primal energy welling up from deep within. If I don't use it consciously, it could well be my end. May it not be your end, but rather lead to a new beginning. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. Au revoir. All right, everybody. On another note, I would like to take this opportunity to really invite you to join me on a journey. We are at a close. Okay, we are at the end of a very long period of evolution. And the moon's nodes will be closing their 18.6 year cycle in January. As the north node goes into Pisces. And it's going to join together at a particular point where it's conjunct with Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. And this is a powerful period in the end of January where I will be taking a group down to the Amazon River. Yes, the seat of Gaia, the powerful force of the feminine. Okay, and we are going to connect with Gaia, and we're going to connect with our soul energy, and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Going to be joining with the native indigenous peoples, the piranha in the river, and it's the pink dolphins. If there is, a time that is going to be amazing to gather together in circle for ceremony, for ritual, to really connect with your deepest truth, come and join us. I look forward to seeing you there and sharing time with you and really growing together. So click on that link below. It's in the notes for more information and the details and everything. And, if there's any financial challenges or whatever, contact us, talk to us. Yeah. Let me know what's going on and we'll see if we can, work something out. But let's do it, baby. All right? Okay. Namaste.